I know that you have some history with Lamont Hill. Years ago, I saw him talk about how you actually helped get him into this universe, this sort of media universe. So, one, I'd like to get some of your reflections on Lamont Hill because you knew him years ago, and what it is that he did, how you feel about what CNN did to him as a result of the comments that he made.
Okay. I think Mark Lamont Hill is one of the most intelligent and hardest working people I've ever met. Our first conversation was, I think, 06 or 07. And I remember he called and he said, I see you're a professor, you're on TV, I want to be on TV too. And I just said, well, I remember specifically saying, I can't do these things for you. It's kind of a myth that somebody magically comes along and just puts you out there. I said, but I can tell you what I did, and it's up to you to execute. And he executed unlike anybody else. To this day, I don't think I've seen anybody that really took, when I gave him the game, he ran with the game and did things that, that most people can't do. Now,
when the show is over with, I might ask you for the game.
Oh, please! I got to get the game from you first. And I'll tell you, man. So later on, with Mark, I saw his rise, and we don't see eye to eye politically. We don't agree on a lot of stuff, and sometimes we'll even go back and forth a little bit on Twitter. But for me, on my end, the respect's always there in the sense that he's sharp. But what I see now kind of is a reflection of a conversation I had with him on my porch back in about 2009. At that time, I was on a lot of the different shows, CNN, Fox, and all that, stuff. Roland Martin was doing a lot of the stuff, and Mark was doing a lot of stuff. So we would all see, the three of us would see each other on a lot of these shows. And I remember Roland was getting a deal with CNN at the time, getting cozy with them because the Obama presidency was kind of erupting.
Sure.
And Mark was getting in with Fox. And I remember I said to him, I said, I really don't think that this is what I want. I don't think I want to deal with either one of these networks because I believe black people have to own our own stuff. We have to have our own channels of distribution for our ideas. And in a way, and maybe it was self-defeating, but I know what kind of black man I am, and so in a way, sometimes I would fire myself in advance. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and fire me now because I know that eventually when I come out the closet and you find out that I'm really black, you ain't going to really want me around. If I was you, I wouldn't want me around either.
And when you say you talking about the CNNs,
I'm talking about the CNNs and the Foxes.
MSNBCs.
And the MSNBCs, yes, because there's no place in any major, white-owned media outlet, no disrespect to anybody else, but there's no place in any major predominantly white-owned media outlet for a black man who's really trying to solve the black problem, in my opinion. Everything has to be sort of fed with a big grain of salt and watered down and sugar-coated, and I'm not good at that. I can't. I got to serve it to you raw, and it doesn't. It's maybe there's a more eloquent way to do it, but I don't know that method. So years later, and it's funny, that same year, I got banned from CNN for a year, actually, because I got into this back and forth with Bill O'Reilly, and it got out of hand, and eventually somebody at CNN just pulled the plug, and for a whole year, they just didn't have me on. And
let me ask you something. Sure. You say got banned. Was that something ever official, somebody told you, put in writing or anything, or it's just you never got invited back?
It was like dating a girl that just stops calling you when she was calling you every day before that, right? And when that happens, your brother know he done got banned from the
just not into you that much anymore.
Exactly, just wasn't into you. But just like that bad relationship, when you lose one opportunity, it opens your mind up to find others. And so that was actually when I began the process of developing my own space, my own platform. So at the same time, I saw Roland really getting in good with CNN. Mark was doing really well with Fox. And then kind of like as I expected, the bombs dropped later on. You saw Roland got into his thing actually it was with the white liberal establishment that actually pushed Roland out of CNN. It was over that LGBT stuff. Right. And then with Mark, the first time he kind of hit a thunderstorm was with Fox, where they kind of outed him as a supporter of Assata Shakur. Right, so it made the rounds, went viral. Next thing you know, Rupert Murdoch announces Mark Lamont Hill is no longer with Fox News. And then later on, you had this thing with CNN. With him in his speech at the UN, kind of bumping.
Were you talking just recently?
Yeah, now this happened recently. Right, where he bumps heads with one of the most powerful lobbies in the world. You can't really say anything that is going to be remotely critical of Israel when you're in the American media system, because we know who has that power, right? And it's not even anti-Semitic.